A white cat, 4 years old. You forgot this cat existed, and somehow it's the thing your brain pulls up the moment you stop existing. Not your wedding day, not the promotion you worked years for. The cat. Your heart just stopped. Doctors have a name for this exact moment. They call it second zero. And here's the part that should stop you cold. For the next 10 seconds, you're still in there. Not fading out like a movie dissolve. Just waiting. The power's out. But the wiring's still warm. So what's actually happening in there? Scientists at the University of Michigan wired up dying brains expecting nothing. A flat line. Silence. Instead, they got a spike. Gamma waves. The exact brain pattern tied to sharp, wide-awake thinking. Surging harder than they do when you're fully conscious and paying attention. In plain terms, the dying brain doesn't shut off. For a few seconds, it does the opposite. It might be more switched on right now than at any other point in your entire life. Here's the picture. Imagine every memory you've ever made stacked up behind a dam. Every 5-minute chat. Every smell. Every boring Tuesday you swore you'd forget by Friday. The second that dam breaks, all of it floods out at once. No order, no highlight reel queued up and ready to roll. Just whatever was sitting closest to the wall when it gave way. That's why you don't get the wedding. You get the cat. Stop. Right now, think about yesterday. Not the big stuff. The small stuff. That 5-minute conversation you've already half forgotten. That throwaway moment is sitting just as close to your personal dam as anything you'd actually plan for. You are building tomorrow's flashback today. You just don't get to pick which 5 minutes made the cut. Now, forget the dam for a second. Think about the rest of your body, because it's playing by a totally different set of rules. Your heart stops first. Your brain dims, but unevenly. Some parts losing power fast, other parts hanging on stubborn and slow. Your skin, weirdly, doesn't get the memo at all. Skin cells can keep dividing for hours after a doctor's already signed your death certificate. So forget the old myth about hair and nails growing after you die. They don't. That's just skin drying out and pulling back. But forget the nails. Think about the light, because here's the part that should actually get under your skin. These near-death experiences aren't scary. They're calm. Almost suspiciously calm. A monk in Thailand and an atheist engineer in Ohio describe the exact same tunnel, the exact same light, the exact same feeling of floating outside their own body, looking down. They never talk to each other. They never compared notes. The brain just runs the same program, no matter what you believed walking in. And here's the part that should give you chills. Long before anyone owned an EEG machine, humans had already mapped this exact territory using nothing but instinct. Ancient Egyptians weighed the heart against a feather to judge what came next. Tibetan monks described an entire in-between state called the bardo, centuries before science could measure a single brainwave. They didn't have the data. They had the lived experience of watching people die and noticing the pattern. The gamma spike isn't a new discovery. It's a modern explanation finally catching up to something ancient cultures already knew was real. We drew a hard line and called it death, mostly because some doctor needed a clean box to check on a form. Your body never agreed to that tidy line. It's far messier and far more interesting than the paperwork suggests. So here's the part that actually matters. And it has nothing to do with dying. If your dying brain skips the highlight reel completely and grabs whatever's closest instead, a cat, a kitchen smell, some forgettable Tuesday, then nothing happening in your life right now is actually small. It's just unsorted, sitting there, waiting its turn to matter. You don't get to choose which memory survives the flood. Nobody does. So stop saving your real self for some highlight reel that might never even come. Call the person back today. Sit through the boring dinner. Actually, look up from your phone during the 5 minutes you'll swear later didn't count. Your brain isn't building a highlight reel. It's building today, one unremarkable cat at a time. Go make today worth keeping. We explore these intersections of biology and life every week. If you're ready to stop living for the highlight reel, join the Slow Output community. Subscribe, and let's keep digging.